Who was snubbed in Hall of Fame voting in 1953? we're diving into the stuff that only you care about, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Hall of Fame voting from 1953. Let's go. Let's go.
So, to add a little context here, um, one of these players, 1953 was their first year on the ballot, and they
Okay.
weren't voted in, which apparently
Yeah.
was a problem. And so, we're coming up on the end of the season here. We're reflecting on great seasons and great careers. So here we go. Who
Mhm.
was snubbed in their first year on the ballot in 1953? Aaron, who you got?
Well, I don't know. I feel like this has got to be kind of like a situation. This would be like Griffey not getting in on his first
Yeah.
ballot. I feel like it's got to be that kind of situation. Joe D is the first one that kind of comes to mind here because of the timing. Dizzy Dean was close, but I feel like Joe D was done in like 48 ish, which would have put him 53. I'm gonna go Joe D. I don't know if that's the answer, but because I feel like Alston is a good answer here. Dizzy, I'm gonna go Joe D though.
Yeah, I'm going DiMaggio here also. I feel like none of the other names are as big that would warrant a question about them being snubbed from the Hall of Fame.
I feel like Dizzy could, but I feel like
Yeah, he
being
was.
asked this many years in the down the road though, I feel
Yeah,
like Joe D is the one that makes most sense.
yeah. Dizzy Dean is way too early. It feels like. So here we go. Let's take a look. The correct answer is Joe DiMaggio.
Boom. That one felt
Felt
easier
easy.
than yeah. That's not always the case, you know.
Yeah,
Sometimes you need an ego boost, you know. So.
yeah. Um, but here's a little fun fact: Joe
Mhm.
DiMaggio retired in 1951.
Okay.
At the time, there was no 5-year waiting period.
Oh, just boom, ballot.
Yeah,
So I had to wait a year just to make sure he was retired. I wasn't going to go Brett Favre.
yeah. Wow. Here, despite being the owner of the then sixth highest slugging percentage ever, a
Mm.
56 game hitting streak, 9 World Series rings, DiMaggio was also snubbed in 1954. He made it
Wow.
in 1955, earning 89% of the vote. So how about
I get.
that?
This is the kind of thing where it's like, where you still have people that like Griffey and Jeter had a couple guys that didn't vote for him, and some of it's like I think there's still a couple of holdouts that are like nobody's ever first ballot. It's got to be guys like Joe D that like are their rationale for why. But I do know that there's some guys who there's some writers who um, this is a silliness of the Hall of Fame voting, but because there's other guys that won't get enough votes, so they'll be like, well, that guy's going to get in. We know he's going to get in, so I'm going to use my vote because I can only vote for 10, which is
Yeah.
again the silliness and all this stuff. I don't love it, but I have a love hate with like the voting because it's like I don't want just like everybody to get in, but the 10 thing and I don't know. There's a lot about it that I don't love, but
Yeah, I agree. The 10, I mean, and maybe that was what was going on here because there were 7 players inducted that year in 53 that we're talking about here.
sure,
So it could have been a situation where he
just
was
not
on
enough.
a
Yeah.
list of like 15 guys who,
Hmm.
and if they only could vote for 10. So yeah, I agree. I mean, to me, it should be that there's no minimum or maximum votes. You just vote for who's on the ballot,
Yeah.
who is worthy of Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, seems pretty straightforward to me. Well,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, well, 3-2. heading into Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Already heading into
Turn the
Friday
corner,
here.
weekend.
Yeah, I know. We're down to the last 3 days of the regular season here, and we're pushing hard to the end of the season. Trivia. We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah,
the
I
rest
mean,
of the week.
Astros have a day off today, but guess who doesn't?
Mariners
Well, and us.
and us.
We
don't
haven't had a
take
day
off.
We haven't had a day off all season.
Nope.
Mark it down. Go ahead. Go look through every video. Find it.
And we'll be back at it tomorrow.
Just imagining some person never seen this before.
You're gonna challenge us on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that's it. We're done.
Yeah. We
we're
got to
out.
step away, but we are coming back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can count on that.
Mm-hmm. See you.